Hello, everybody. Sebastian here. I want to share with you a video from the 1980s, an interview with Willem Oltmans, journalist, if you are a Dutch speaker, where he already foresaw some of the complete nonsense that would later become identified with critical race theory. And of course, I have to say, I have a great respect for the fact that Oltmans, whose world view was completely different, in some respects 180 degrees opposite to mine, but who was nevertheless able to take on the government using their own rules and win at a court of law and get compensation and damages for the damages for the harm that he suffered. And that is something that requires extreme patience and tenacity. On the other hand, I also have to commend his being against violence and stressing how the people of South Africa at the time were also against violence. And to be frank and intellectually honest enough to say it the way he sees it. And what I would like to connect this to in the context of this channel, which is about analyzing the world, how there's nothing new under heaven, and that is the news. Well, I would say that the essence of destructive hostility is the attitude of anything that you do is unacceptable. It is either excessive or deficient and condemned. And this has a, excuse me, an old saw in English which goes, damn me if I do, damn me if I don't. That is when you know that the people you are facing as opponents are just caught up in a kind of vengeance desire where argumentation, truth, whether it's historical, mechanical, or ethical truth, goes out the window. They have a vindictive fantasy of how to get back at whoever they have decided to perceive as hateful and inhuman. And that is the first step towards genocide or civil war. And that's why I really admire how, in this interview about the situation in South Africa, Oltmans promotes peace as the way towards solutions. Something that, of course, I can relate to as a Costa Rican, because Costa Rica, after its civil war, abolished the armed forces and obligatory military service. So, if you are a Dutch speaker and you are interested in history and something that has become a kind of endangered specimen, that is intellectually honest journalism, then I recommend that you take the time to watch this interview about South Africa, where Oltmans foresaw a lot of what later would become some of the greatest social problems in post apartheid South Africa. Thank you for your attention. Have a great evening.